Okay, so I just saw a vision. State secrets. State secrets, you guys. Click on a different link unless you want to see some state secrets right here. When do you hear this? I just saw a vision of Putin, Vladimir Putin, the big dog of Russia. And he was saying, oh, we tried to destroy America. And then he was like, oh, well, we didn't do it. We couldn't do it. Like, he didn't care. He doesn't want nuclear war. What he wants is, he has certain political goals, but he was like, we tried. About destroying America. And he was like walking away, kind of brushing it off. Maybe next time. Sorry, Putin. But he was actually glad that we're not going into nuclear war. And then China has been killing everybody that is pushing for nuclear war. And I saw a vision of like a Chinese lady basically saying, oh, all of a sudden my husband's dead, my sons are dead, and our bomb shelter that was full of stuff is been completely ransacked in a big giant vacant underground bunker. And then she was pleading with the other Chinese, we not know what our husbands do. We not know, like, for her own life. Like, we not co-conspirators. We know, no. In other words, China is going after the people who wanted nuclear war and killing them. And the wives of the people who are gone are witnessing it, going, oh shit, I hope I'm not next. And they're trying to persuade everyone that, oh, we not know what our husbands do. We not know. That's just what I saw, dude. So, and that's the Chinese Communist Party going on. So yeah, Trump bought us more time. What else was there? Yeah, Putin doesn't even care. He's like, well, we tried. It's a trip, dude. Anyway, so what was it? We should enact policies that help the Chinese people and kind of help the Chinese Communist Party to be a better government to their own people. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because really, if there was a threat in the earth, it was Muslims here in the United States or China, the big dog over there. Yeah. Anyway. I'm trying to think. I know there was another thing that the Lord showed me, but I can't remember what it was. So I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, God gave us more time. No nuclear war. That's really far from what I thought was going to happen in 2017 and 18. So I remember the day that I knew we didn't have to worry about nuclear war. And it was the minute I heard the news report that Donald Trump, this was in 2019, signed an executive order bringing prayer back to school. And as soon as I heard that story, I was like, oh, we got more time. And I haven't been worried about nuclear war since. So, and I'm talking full scale. That doesn't mean China won't use nukes to destroy an aircraft carrier or something like that if they get the chance. I mean, I don't know. We should be dominating space too. We should have killer robots in outer space. That one, they disable the satellite. Two, they use thrust boosters to blast that satellite into a low Earth orbit trajectory to re-enter the atmosphere. That way you avoid, they should be built to avoid space debris. But I think we're already doing that. If we're not, the vision I saw, they look like crabs. Big old crabs, you know, like blue. They look like kind of like a spider with claws. And their big back end is a big booster that can rotate. And they grab onto the satellite, and then a drill comes out and goes, and starts drilling holes in the satellite. The reason you want to do that is you want to disable the satellite so whoever's in communication with that satellite just thinks they're experiencing a malfunction. And then a few days later, the thing disappears from the sky. And they don't know that it's plausibly deniable, basically. And the Americans can say, we don't know. We don't know nothing about your satellite. Meanwhile, we got 25 killer robots out there in outer space that just go and they're semi-autonomous. They send pictures back until they're able to match autonomously. They're able to hunt down satellites and approach them very slowly through space. And once they get within a certain distance from behind, they're able to take pictures, transmit that information back to the United States, CIA or wherever, Space Command. Then they're able to analyze the pictures, determine the nature of the satellite, and then make the decision whether to kill it or not. I don't know if we're already doing that or if that's something that needs to happen. Anyway, and the drill is magnetic, so that if it does drill little bits of steel off of whatever it's drilling through, those little bits of steel will stick to the drill bit. That way you don't have any space debris from this thing. And then when it's ready to re-enter, it'll basically send the satellite into a re-entry and burn it up in the atmosphere. Anyway, I don't know if that's just my imagination. I mean, it's certainly something that's completely capable possible when you have a guy as capable as Elon Musk and all the engineers at Boston Dynamics and DARPA and all that. So I would think they're already doing that, actually. If they're not, God gives you permission to clear space and take over space, outer space.